The planet is restless, Captain. They want their podcast. And they shall have it. I'll beam down to the surface. You have the bridge. Captain, that is illogical. These are Trek fans. They will challenge and dissect your knowledge with great emotion. It is a mission fraught with danger, peril, and grave risk. Suggestions? Send in the red shirts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the red shirts are back for another review of the latest Star Trek short trek. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. Okay, we all saw it, right?
We did.
We saw
it's
it, right?
Calypso time.
Calypso. I think of Jamaica or, the Caribbean when I think of that title.
Wasn't Jacques Cousteau shipped as Calypso?
That sounds right. I don't know. You're dating yourself, man.
Bite me.
All right, so who wants to go first? Well, before we do that, let's just talk about what we saw. So we saw escape pod be tractor beamed onto the Discovery. It's clearly the Discovery, and there's a strapping young man inside.
Strapping young man?
He's a strapping young man. I say that with all, to paraphrase George Costanza, I'm steeped in heterosexuality.
Q, when you want to come out, we're okay with it.
It depends on where I'm coming out. Anyway.
Move right on.
And, he's getting acclimated. He gets dressed. He's wandering about the ship. And he eventually makes a connection with, I'm going to assume, is a computer interface. It's very HAL-like. HAL
very much so,
being
yes.
the computer with the orb on the wall from 2001: A Space Odyssey. This one was a blue-black orb. HAL was red. Anyway. And basically, we find out that this guy was involved in some sort of skirmish with a race called the Vidrash, I believe it was. He's from Alcor 4. And the reason we know he's from Alcor 4, which is said in the dialogue from the computer, because he has a tattoo on his back of an eagle or something or other.
Yeah.
And the rest of the episode is basically him bonding with the computer. I don't know if you saw that movie, Her. I think it was called Her with Joaquin Phoenix. Or maybe a little bit of, what was that movie? You guys know. It was Ex Machina, right?
Right.
I
got a Geordie and Leah Abrams, hologram vibe off it.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
But the interesting thing is that we find out that the Discovery's been sitting there idle for 1,000 years. So that's intriguing.
Right. So that's a good point. So we do a time jump here. Is that what we're led to believe?
Or are we just watching a story that happened 1,000 years in the future? I don't know.
What I'm saying, right? We've done a time jump, obviously, from the last episode of Discovery and from the last short trek, right?
Right.
And this guy basically tries to do a little dance with the computer, and eventually he finds his way home, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the AI, sets up the last shuttle, gets him to use it, off he goes.
Okay.
But it's a little more involved than that. Now, granted, I just watched it.
Excellent. I saw it Sunday night. I saw it, when did it go, Friday? It came out Friday or Thursday?
You're looking at me like I know.
All right. Right. It came out like Thursday or Friday. I saw it. That's the last time I saw it. I tried to watch it last night. I fell asleep.
Wow.
No,
really?
Well, it was around 1:30 in the morning because I thought we were going to be possibly recording this earlier, but that's okay. But Big Sexy,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Craig.
No, I was just going to say, for any technology to last for 1,000 years without getting damaged or falling apart seems a little bit unrealistic. That was the only thing. I love the idea of the fact that the Discovery's been sitting there for 1,000 years, but how did that even happen? How do you keep something like that looking fine with a little dust on it for 1,000 years? Surely things broke. I don't know.
It is in the vacuum of space, so I could buy that.
You got radiation, asteroids,
Good point.
Klingons.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, when
So,
something physically breaks, like a window broke, who's going to fix it?
Right.
well, Big Sexy, since you were the last person to see this and you just saw it, I am curious to get your now. Big Sexy, just please be nice.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
You know, I it takes me a lot more time to edit out your filth and flarn. Wait, can we say that anymore? I don't know if we can say that anymore.
I don't think we can say that anymore.
Okay. What was your take?
Well, again, I didn't know who this strapping young man was, and he's on a completely desolate ship, and apparently, the ship's AI brings him in, and then it feeds him and all that, but he's in a hammock at one point, and he doesn't know what Tuesday is. Bullshit. And now he's in the mess hall. Oh, it's Taco Tuesday. What's a taco? Oh Lord, really? Oh,
So
man.
does that mean that he's not human? He's not a
No. I'm not saying that at all. But come on.
no.
man.
No, I'm asking. I wasn't sure if he was an alien or a human being.
You know what? I can't answer that. I'm assuming he is humanoid, but I could be completely wrong.
Well, he's definitely humanoid.
And he's got a baby and a wife apparently. And then and she has machine out of all the memory. Now, I don't know how much memory stored in there, but we're gonna watch. Funny Face. Really? Really?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And Betty Boop, who programmed it to
Wait.
Betty Boop?
Betty Boop is an icon. I
Right.
can let that slide.
I know, but why? Why did someone program him to be watching Betty Boop?
I don't know.
Okay, but
Cartoon.
continue.
And since this is CBS All Access, and they do actually, I know why. They do own the Terry Toons library. Part of the Terry Toons library, I believe, has Betty Boop in it.
Please don't tell me that.
I'm telling you that.
Please don't tell me that's the only reason that they.
Oh, the only reason? No. I'm just, and they could have gone a whole another way with the characters in that library, but I digress. And then, but the whole thing. Okay, we're gonna do the holodeck. I'm gonna create, a woman from the dance with. Really? And then he's all getting into it, and he stopped her, and he's all, oh, I can't do this. Oh, but we're not doing anything. I'm not real. Oh God. Oh man, that was some bullshit. I like how they did the 3D printer. That was pretty cool.
Mm.
But at the end, she printed him up another thing. Okay, well, you're going to go. Could we have been lovers? Then you wouldn't know my name. Oh, really? How's he having a Mac vibe with the computer? And again, the computer that predates all the Federation computers voiced by Majel Barrett Roddenberry. Get out of here.
Right.
Are you saying that was Majel Barrett's voice? That wasn't Majel Barrett's voice, was it?
Yeah. What?
No.
Computer? Yeah. I mean, in this episode, no.
Okay.
But in Star Trek, yeah.
So your point is that it should have been Majel Barrett's voice.
No, my point is, it was too interactive. It was more along the line of talking to the holographic doctor,
right,
than the computer. And I don't think they could have done that at that juncture in time.
Well, the last thing he says before he gets on the ship, the shuttle, if I recall, he says something. The computer asks him, "What's your real name?" Because he said his name was Kraft. But at the end he says, "Well, if you were from my planet, you would have named me," or something like that. You would.
Well, if you were from my planet, not from my planet. If we were involved or something like that, you would know. But no, you're right. You would give me my name, and then they close it, and the door said "funny face" on it. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
What was okay. Before I start, Craig, what were your impressions?
Well, I would say that I enjoyed the episode. It was intriguing that the Discovery's been there for 1,000 years. Kraft was wearing a shirt that said disco, which for me was paying a homage to the Star Trek fans who called Discovery disco.
See,
That's all I
that
can
kind of
think of.
disappointed me right there.
Mm.
Because when I saw in the chat, you said he's wearing a shirt called Disco. I'm looking for the, 70s fake satin holding the funk
Oh, stop
shirts.
it.
I'm like, oh, there's a disco shirt. Okay.
But yeah, the episode was better than the first short. That's my opinion for sure. It was a better story. I'm not really sure what to think of this episode. I know that Calypso means deception and to conceal and to hide. So obviously he was hiding something, because we don't know how he got into the escape craft. He didn't really give too many details. He didn't give his real name. So he was a bit mysterious. But other than that, I'm not sure what to think of the episode. Was it a spoof episode? Why was he wearing a disco shirt, for example? I don't get what's going on there.
I just assumed he was wearing a disco shirt because he either found it or it was replicated for him, or the disco thing. It's kind of corny. What did they wear in the Enterprise? Interp. What was Voyager? Void.
No, but the thing is that if you look at any of the Star Trek groups, not everybody, a lot of people say it's disco.
No, I know
when they talk
why.
about, but they didn't say interp for an Enterprise. So disco is just one of those terms that have been coined by the latest fans.
I get it, but I don't know if I'm a realist or a literalist. It's kind of silly. It sounds very hipster. Oh, we wear T-shirts that say disco because of our ship, because the name of
We're
our
doing
ship.
it ironically. Oh yeah.
It's too meta for me. Anyway, but I won't harp on that.
I hate that word.
It's kind of cool, but it's kind of silly and hipster to me. Hipster doofus. All right, Craig, you have any other thoughts?
No, I think that's all from my side on my thoughts. Let's hear what you thought.
Okay. Listen, as I said in Twitter, and as I said just now, maybe I'm too much of a literalist. I don't know what the I just saw.
I'm glad you said that because I damn sure don't know either.
What the hell? Listen. Okay. Craig, I think I disagree with you that this one was better than the one with Tilly. Because with the one with Tilly, it may have been not that satisfying, but it all made sense. No, this makes no sense. What I'm expecting from these shorts, because we only got 13 episodes in the first season of Discovery.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we've been waiting for a year and a half, I believe, maybe not. Has it been that long? How long has it been?
It has not been that long.
Okay, feels that long. I want these shorts to progress the story. I don't want to curse because I told Big Sexy not to. I don't want your philosophical, metaphysical bullshit. Okay? What was this? Why are we 1,000 years in the future? What does that do for me, for someone who's only known Discovery for 13 episodes? It's kind of like Batman v Superman, the movie, where we saw Man of Steel, and they didn't even get Superman right. We didn't get to meet Clark Kent until the last 30 seconds. Yet the next movie, they're throwing him in with Batman. So here, I still don't really have a sense of Discovery and its crew, which is, I don't have a problem with that. But now you're taking liberties, you're throwing us into the future and introducing this character. And I don't have enough groundedness on Discovery yet before you start experimenting with this stuff. Who is this guy? Why is the ship deserted? Why is it 1,000 years later? Is it going to tie into the timeline of season 2? Why am I watching this? Why is this a story? And nothing happened. Listen, okay. Here's how I was brought up to understand a story. I was made to read a lot of stories, and I feel like I'm a more well-rounded person who can discuss things based on my background in English Lit. Okay? In every story, there should be a conflict. There should be a setup, a conflict, and a resolution. To me, call me crazy, that's what makes for a satisfying traditional story. I didn't get I didn't see any of that. I don't know what the point of this was. Can someone help me out with that?
If you maybe I've got a take on it that might help.
Okay, please.
There was an episode of Star Trek, and I forget if it was Voyager or Deep Space Nine, or it was probably Voyager, where they pretended that the shuttle was in space, but they had just rigged up a bunch of monitors outside the windows and stuff. Do you guys remember that episode?
That sounds familiar.
It was very clever. They were trying to get somebody in the ship to admit to something or say something or do something.
I'm pretty sure that was DS9. It was DS9, and they had I think they had a Cardassian. I think that's what it was. Big Sexy, that ring a bell?
No, actually.
Okay, but anyway, I remember what you're talking about.
So they deceived him, right? Because they pretended that they were flying and they were stuck in space or whatever, and they were just in the dock.
Right.
If you read the mythology of Calypso, Calypso tries to trap some guy, some mythological Greek god, on her island, and so maybe the way this episode seemed weird is that maybe Calypso is actually the AI on the ship, and this was a full-on deception. So he was really in a shuttlecraft, but he wasn't actually pulled into the Discovery that was empty. He was pulled into a simulation, and he thought that he was on the empty Discovery, but he really wasn't. Do you think that is possibly how we can make this thing make any sense?
Well, I still don't see I mean, if they had revealed that, it would have at least given me a kind of like a Twilight Zone / Shyamalan kind of twist. But even then, I don't know what makes that a payoff that's satisfying, because this is a guy that knows nothing about Discovery. You know, he's from a planet that I don't even know has been charted. Well, I guess if the computer knew about it, then it's probably in Federation records, right? But if he knows nothing about Discovery, there's no consequences. There's no what's the word I'm thinking of? Consequences. There's no
payoff for us anyway.
There's no payoff. I mean, if this is a character study, fine. It should be a character that I give a shit about. I cared nothing about what happened to this guy, because there's no conflict that he gets involved with that I would want to root for him for.
Well, he did almost fall in love with the AI, so maybe that was his conflict.
Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. I know I'm going to get a lot of people saying, oh, Mike, you don't like anything. You can't appreciate anything. God damn it, I don't appreciate this. If you're going to make me sit down and watch, I mean, you're not making me do this. It's Star Trek. I'm going to watch it anyway. But why not? Don't experiment now. Give me something. Give me something to tide me over. Now, the next episode involves Saru and his home planet. Right. Now, just by definition, because I identify with Saru, or I have something invested in Saru. I like the character. We don't know his home planet. I don't like the fact that they're only going to devote 15 minutes to introduce us as an audience member to his home planet. That deserves an entire show. Be that as it may, I'm expecting to get something out of this next short. I don't want any type of tone poems or little plays. That I don't want to see your beautiful writing. Okay? There was some great dialogue in this episode, but I want good dialogue, but I want there to be something that happens. Even in a 15-minute short, you have a beginning setup, you have a middle conflict, end resolution of conflict. That's what I need to see. I need to see that. Okay.
All right.
I really
You could argue that it is what you watched. The setup was he was in space, he was about to die, he got rescued by an intelligence, or it was fake, got pulled into a simulation. His conflict was he was falling in love with the AI, even though he was conflicted his wife was on the planet, whatever it was called. And the resolution was the AI let him go. She gave up. She's like, okay, no problem. Here's a shuttle.
Yeah,
Off you go.
that's true. But Craig, I don't. If I don't know either of these characters, how am I supposed to care? If it had been, let's say, I don't know, even the smallest, the most. If it had been the woman from with the cyborg implants, not the. She's got the helmet on her face. I don't know her name. You know the character I'm talking about, right? She's part of the bridge crew.
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Even if it had been her, and she were the character, I would have been like, oh, okay, I've seen this character on the show, season 1. Maybe they're going to develop her a little bit. And all of the musings and all of the monologues that happen between the character and the AI, at least then I could say, well, I know a little bit more about her. This, I got a character I know nothing about, and I didn't learn anything about the character other than he was married and he's a soldier. That's it. Why should I care? Big Sexy, do you care?
No. I'm going to have some few words about CBS All Access.
Well,
oh yeah, we want to hear them.
Let's go ahead. Let it rip.
Okay. Craig suggested I go ahead and sign up. Can't hurt, the whole thing. But I'm looking at a lot of their programming, and I'm thinking, okay, if this could be something alongside of Netflix, okay, fine. But I'm looking at some of the offerings here. I'm looking at classics. I see a lot of shows that, A, aren't CBS. I see a lot of CBS shows that are missing. I see a lot of things that are incomplete.
What do you mean incomplete?
Well, let's take a look. Hey, there's Happy Days, not a CBS show. But yet, they're only giving me season 2.
What?
That's it, season 2.
Well, I got to tell you, that's really not a big loss as far as I'm concerned.
It's not the point.
I liked Happy Days, but I'm over it.
Family Ties, not a CBS show.
Oh, they got Family Ties on there?
Q, you and I are going to talk about Family Ties another time, but yes.
That's one of the best comedies ever.
It's in a moment. They have Frasier, which I believe was a CBS show, correct?
I don't think so. It was an NBC show.
It was NBC.
It was NBC.
You're right. And they have all the Star Treks, which is great, but I can get them on Netflix with no commercials, period.
That's
so
true.
the fact that they're trying to say, well, you have limited commercials, get out of here.
That's weird. Why would these other networks give up their properties to CBS?
I don't know. I see Wings, not a CBS show. And again, I don't see MASH.
Wait a minute, stop. Are you saying Wings is on CBS All Access?
Looking right at it, yeah.
And I just spent $30 on the box set of that show.
Oops.
What the is so funny about that? There's nothing funny about it. And
well, first of all, the show is not good. And the fact that
well,
you
no,
spent money on the box set.
Wait. That show, when I started watching it first run, I can't remember when I came, it was funny. It was hilarious. But I will say, season 1 and season 2 suck donkey ass.
Wasn't Thomas Hayden Church in that show?
And he was one of the funniest characters when I was.
I hate him.
Okay.
But let's say we get into that. Now, speaking of shows I don't like, I don't see any of the Bob Newhart stuff. I don't see Newhart. I don't see Bob Newhart.
All right. Well, hang on there, Coach Cheese. You have put it on record how much you hate CBS All Access. And again, you can do the $9.99 and get no commercials. I don't recommend it.
If I'm going to pay for the whole deal, I would pay the $9.99 if they had the CBS catalog. They don't.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I agree with you. They really shouldn't do that. I mean, giving you 1 or 2 seasons of a show, not even the first season, it's just crazy.
And I'm looking at Melrose Place.
Really? Who's gonna watch? Really, people want to watch that?
And again, not a CBS show.
I just pay the money to watch Star Trek. I don't watch any of the other stuff.
Now, if I didn't get my Star Trek fix on Netflix, I probably would go ahead and go full bore.
Well, have any of you actually watched any of the other Star Trek series on CBS All Access?
No.
Nope.
I just got it like an hour ago. So no.
Because what I mentioned in one of our last shows, I for whatever reason Netflix wasn't working like a month ago or so. So I was like, okay, no, it could have been a month ago because it was whenever I signed up for CBS All Access again. Yeah, maybe about a month ago. And so I said, well, I can watch it on CBS All Access. And I get on there, and as I said, I watch it with the captions on because I might be in the background or my son might be doing something, making noise, and I can't hear it. The captions are all fucked up. It's like they got words all over the screen that don't match up, or at least when I display it on my monitor. I was like, wow, they didn't even get that right. But yeah, guys, let's just summarize, and I want to bring up one other topic, and we can close shop. But I mean, I'm just like, I don't want people to think that I am a hater. Okay.
I think that ship has sailed.
Oh, stop it! I hate you. I'm sorry. I am not a hater. I enjoyed season 1 of Discovery. I enjoyed it. I had my problems with it. We're not going to go through it again, but I enjoyed it. And just because I invite some people onto the show who have different opinions, you know, this is a democracy on this podcast. So if people don't like something, I want them to say it. We're not going to be suck-ups here. So just because I'm invited some people onto the show who may not have liked it, that's their prerogative. I welcome it. I like Discovery. Overall, I like it. I am very disappointed in what they're doing with these shorts. They're not doing anything. To me, it seems like this is just a cynical way of keeping people, quote unquote, engaged while they get this shit together in the long period of time that it's taken to get us the new season. So this next episode, if they manage to screw up Saru, a story featuring Saru, a beloved character, I can't say I'm done because I'll keep watching, but I'm going to be like, you know what, man, Akiva, Goldsman, and whoever I forget his name. I forget the other guy's name. You guys, Kurtzman, Alex Kurtzman. You guys, man, you need to be checked, and checked hard.
One thing, though, I think, going to this episode, I don't know if you guys caught this in the credits, but this episode was written by Michael Chabon.
The actor?
I hope I'm pronouncing.
No, you're right. I'm thinking Michael Gambon. I'm sorry. Why do I know that name? I do know that name.
He's written a lot of things. Oh God, I can't think of any of them off the top of my head.
Well,
but he's an acclaimed writer.
So Michael Chabon. I just want to see what else he's done. I
think he did Jurassic Park, but I could be wrong.
I would be surprised if he did Jurassic Park. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay?
Pew. He writes a lot of lofty things.
Well, you know what?
Oh, Henry Award. Right.
I have to say, it doesn't surprise me because this... Well, I'm looking here. His major literary influences were Donald Barthelme. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Jorge Luis Borges, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Raymond Chandler. I know that name. I could have used a lot more Raymond Chandler in this. John Updike. Is he the guy who did the Watership Down series with the rabbits? Yeah, he did all the rabbit series. He didn't do Watership Down, but he did a lot of rabbit novels. F. Scott Fitzgerald. This sounds like something that... It doesn't surprise me that this writer wrote this episode. This is a guy who's more into character study, not into necessarily action, even the little action we got in the first short. And again, I love a good dramatic character study. I'm the guy who says I like TNG the best of all the series, and TNG characters were not action characters. They were dramatic characters, and that's what made them great. So don't tell me I have a problem with drama and character study. I just need to give a shit about the characters. That's the biggest problem I have. All right. So I thank you for illuminating who wrote this, Big Sexy. It all falls into place. All right. Anyone else got any last? Just give me your last summations on the episode, and then we'll move on.
I don't know what the hell I just watched.
So did you like it or not?
You know, it's like a knockoff of 2001: Space Odyssey to me.
I could see that.
You know, I want. You know, I can't say I liked it or disliked it. I'm more like, what? What did I watch? You know, was it bad? No. But was it something I could watch again? No.
I agree 100%. And I'll say it again. If I knew any of the characters, it might have been a lot better.
Exactly.
If I'm just meeting you and it has no consequence with the series as a whole, I'm not interested. Get the fuck off the stage.
I hear what you guys are saying. I share some of your thoughts. I still think that it was a simulation. I think that he was pulled into a simulation and it wasn't really the Discovery 1,000 years in the future.
Well, why would someone
That's
do that?
my take on it.
I love that.
I don't know.
I love that, but what makes you think that, and why do you think that?
Well, if you read up the mythology of Calypso,
Right.
that's basically what she does. She tries to trap
Right.
one of the Greek gods on her island, and that's
Right.
basically what the AI did. Because you don't really see what happens between when he gets pulled in. He's almost dead, and then next minute he wakes up in sickbay and he's all healed up and everything. So we don't know how long that took.
But see, I'm sorry to cut you off, but see now, you are making a great argument that if the writers had played up more, it would have been a great episode. Because if it had been a case where the AI felt like, to me, this would have made a great story. The AI has become so evolved that I'm saying it's a she because the voice was female, that she is lonely, and she tries to trap this guy, and the conflict is the guy trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being held against his will, and then in the final act, the AI evolves even further, evolves into having a sense of guilt or a conscience, and lets Craft go.
Right.
That would have been fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm. So in that scenario, the ship really has been there for 1,000 years, and at some point in the future, it gets fitted with AI.
Right.
Because obviously, our Discovery doesn't have AI. So that, and I would accept that storyline as well. As I said, I enjoyed the episode. It was interesting. It definitely had overtones of hell, especially when you saw the AI's view of Craft through the screen, just like hell, and that was good. So that's my thoughts.
And what's interesting? They identify Craft, that's the name he gives, as a resident of Alcor 4 because he has the tattoo on his back, and they write it as if to say, "Well, okay, he's got a tattoo, so of course he's from Alcor 4." I don't know what the that means. It's just so matter of fact. Why go through spending all the money on the graphics to show the tattoo when it means nothing to us as the audience? Okay. Yeah. I'm Debbie Downer this episode. Because Craig, obviously you liked it, and I respect that. Big Sexy, he's like, I don't know.
Exactly.
And I'm like, out of here. So we're like the three monkeys with the over the eyes, the mouth, and the ears. Anyway, okay, let's move on. But people, I can't wait for Star Trek Discovery Season 2. Please don't come at me talking about I hate everything. That's not true. I just have a certain amount of expectation. So yeah, I'll take it. I'll own it. I'll be the one who, I know my fellow red shirts, they either liked it or they're on the fence about it. Well, I think Big Sexy's on the fence. I don't know. I don't know of any fence that'll hold him because he is big and sexy. But anyway, okay, I'll put in the laugh track there. There you go. Thank you. So I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail because people are going to say, "Oh, it's that guy," who doesn't like anything.
Well, some people might come online and say they didn't like it as much as you didn't like it. So don't take yourself, too seriously on that.
Well, I appreciate the uncharacteristic support there, Big Sexy.
Don't get used to it.
Right. But it begs the question. See, I think that I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for this too. I just think this new generation, see what I did there? This next generation of Star Trek fans, they like it no matter what. I don't know how discriminating they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are valid reasons for people to say that they did not like Discovery, okay? And that's why they went over to the Orville.
Whoa! Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Where did that come from?
I kind of threw up in the back of my throat when I said Orville. I did it again.
Yeah, what has better ratings? Okay.
See? So, I mean, do you think that, I just think that people are going to, my fear is people are going to come at me because they just, it's Star Trek. You're supposed to like it just because it's Star Trek.
No, I think the average viewer of this franchise is a little more discerning than that. I would hope they are.
I got into an argument with someone, and I don't know why I do this. Why do I do this, Craig?
You do it constantly.
It's like getting into an argument with a Trump supporter.
Oh, gee.
It doesn't matter what you say. Oh, did I just compare Star Trek fans to Trump supporters? Now I know we're going to lose.
Now you're going to get it.
I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't matter. I mean, we have to still. I can love Star Trek. We can love Star Trek, but we can still be discerning. I mean, there are people who realize that Star Trek V wasn't that great a film, and neither was the motion picture. I can say it wasn't a great film.
Garbage.
No. Oh, slow your roll.
The motion picture.
Slow down. I would say that if you're not a Star Trek fan, or if you're not a diehard fan, I can understand you saying it's a bad movie. I'm not going to say, you have to like it as Star Trek. So I just hope people, when they listen to this, they have a bit of mercy. They throw themselves on the mercy of the court. You like that, Big Sexy, right? You like that. Have you ever thrown yourself in the mercy of the court?
I've never been charged with a felony. So no.
Okay. You just defend people who have been charged with felonies, right?
Details.
Okay. So anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to wrap this up. And that's that. Anyway, want to move on real quick. I saw that there is talk, and I don't know if this is recent or if I just slept on this when it first came about. There's talk that CBS is trying to negotiate the possibility of another Trek show that would star Michelle Yeoh as Mirror Universe Georgiou as a member of Section 31.
That's news to me.
I just saw this today. And apparently, I think I saw this. They're basing this on the fact that this past March, during, I think it was New York Comic-Con, if I have that right. Was it that long ago? They released a clip. It was an unseen clip, or a deleted clip, I guess, from Discovery Season 1, where it shows Georgiou being approached by members of Section 31. And I think I saw the clip. If I did, I don't remember too well. But they're saying that might be the springboard into having her star in a Section 31-based Star Trek show on CBS All Access. And I was reading some of the comments, and it was kind of what I saw 50-50. One person said, let's just get this Section 31 show off the ground already, please. Which indicated that it's been in talks. Other people were like, they don't want to see a Section 31 show because it would violate all of the tenets of Star Trek. And other people are like, yes, I can't wait. Yes. What do you guys think about this?
If they're going to do a Section 31 thing, it needs to be fleshed out more before they give it its own show.
You don't think it was fleshed out enough on DS9?
No.
Really?
Really. Because all we really saw was that one guy running around saying, I'm Section 31. No, I need more to it.
See, well, okay, wait a minute. I got to remember, Star Trek Discovery is a prequel. I was going to say that guy the actor is a great actor. He played in Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, he did.
I thought in DS9 they eradicated Section 31. I remember one episode he got his ass kicked or something, and it was like he renounced Section 31. But
it wasn't like all in his head or something like that. And when they were like inside of his head via the holodeck, and if he died, they died with him or some shit like that.
That sounds familiar, yeah. But I'm down with it. I don't care if we see a little bit of gritty Star Trek.
I'm sorry about the gritty or not gritty. If you want gritty, give me a show full of Klingons. If you want some sneaking around, give me a show full of Romulans. There's just not enough Section 31 to build off of yet.
Wait a minute. So you're talking about a covert Black Ops department of Starfleet. There's tons to build on that. Are you kidding me?
Again, but I'm not saying not to build off of. I misspoke. But we don't know, other than the guy from Shawshank, we don't know anything about this covert deal. It's like the same thing as having, a show based around the temporal cops.
Well, I mean,
we as viewers have not been given enough to really see it build yet.
That's what the series would do. That's what the series would do.
I think it's premature.
Premature? I mean, DS9's been off the air how long?
Yeah, no.
I would say that if they really are planning a show around Section 31, then it detracts from the fact that I always thought that Discovery was part of Section 31 already.
You got to let that go, man. Yeah. Let it go.
Well, because, they're wearing different uniforms and they've got black alert and stuff that nobody else has. I just thought that would...
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
got it. Oh,
yep.
Genius has struck me. If they want to do a Section 31 show because they are Black Ops, okay, fine. If they go in there and set it up and have them, A, be the reason why the Obsidian Order is no more, and B, have a long conflict with the Tal Shiar from Romulans, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Because Klingons don't do Black Ops. They just come and kick your ass.
Well, going back to Craig's point, if you guys remember, in the first episode of Discovery Season 1, we saw people on Discovery with black Starfleet badges. There's one shot where they purposefully, the camera is on a tight lens, and you see that, but they never explore that, from what I recall.
Right.
But I'm all for it. And, the last problem I would have with that is that, it violates Star Trek's directives and tenets. Man, DS9 did that. Pale in Moonlight? What was that? In the Pale Moonlight?
In the Pale Moonlight.
Come on. So I'm all for it. But, okay, so there you have it. I'm the Grumpy Gus. I will own it. I did not enjoy this episode of Calypso, these short treks. And the next one comes out, was it December 7th?
December 6th.
Was it December 6th?
I could be mistaken. I believe it's the 6th.
All right, guys. Any last words before we wrap up here?
CBS All Access sucks.
Okay. And Big Sexy's heard from?
Nothing from my side. I enjoyed it, Calypso.
He enjoyed it. Well, I think I've made my politics known in regards to this episode. I'm expecting the bar to be raised a lot higher for the next... I wish I knew the title of it. I forget the title of it. But I expect the bar to be raised high because one thing I can say, Season 1 gave us some characters, Saru being one of them, that I think have caught hold. Tilly is the other one. I think these characters have already become almost iconic, or they become very well liked. So don't screw up this next one for me, please. And it goes without saying, come on, January 19th, I believe that's the premiere date. It can't get here soon enough. So with that, we're going to wrap up. Craig, Big Sexy, I'll see you again. Well, we'll see each other again soon, right?
Oh, yes.
Before January. Otherwise, we'll lose the few subscribers we have if we don't put out more shows.
We're going to have a show ripping CBS All Access.
We'll talk about the next short in December, right? Just afterwards.
Oh, yeah, but, we have to convene prior to that. We'll have to come up with another episode to review or another topic to come up with to speak about. But, all right, guys, I will see you soon. Everyone out there, just because I didn't enjoy the episode, I sincerely hope you enjoyed the episode. As a postscript, I want to make note of a conversation that I had on another podcast, the Afro Nerd Radio Show, where of which I am a frequent call-in guest. And another gentleman who goes by the name of Bison for Life, he called in, and we got into a heated debate about the merits of this episode. And I will point out and give all credit to him that he made a point to say that because in this show I went off on a rant about the tattoo on Kraft's back. And Bison for Life made the observation that perhaps I need to be patient and cool my jets, because perhaps that was a clue or a hint that ties into the Red Angel. I believe that was the name that's been bestowed upon the image that we see on the view screen, not the view screen, but on our monitor in the last lengthy trailer that we got. We see a screen of what looks like a humanoid with wings, feathered wings, that flashes on the screen. And as I said, Bison for Life suggests that maybe there's a tie-in and I need to just calm down and wait to see what happens. It's an intriguing supposition, I will say that much. It's very intriguing. It's very possible that there is a connection. However, in terms of this episode, I don't know. It didn't grab me by the bollocks, as the British might say. So, but I did want to give Bison for Life credit for that. It was enlightening, and maybe there is a tie. Maybe I should be more patient. But hey, I'm just a Trek fan who knows what he wants and knows what he likes. And in 15 minutes, I need something to happen. These bottle stories, I guess they're just not doing it for me so far. So I am going to set my sights for the horizon. I'm setting my sights on December. I'm going to get a Saru story, and I'm going to go into it positively and patiently. And you can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on YouTube, Instagram. Where else? I forget. Where else? Where else can they catch us, guys?
On the Googles and the internets.
There you go. By the way, I've decided that our starship, we need a registry. And I've decided that the U.S.S. Internet is registry NCC 1958. And the reason I came up with the reason I came up with 1958 is because that's the year that one of my pop heroes was born, Michael Jackson, and I believe Madonna was born that same year, as well as Prince. So I believe all three of them were born that year, so that's our registry.
You know what? Our music things aside, what the they got to do with science fiction?
Yep, Prince was born June 7th, 1958. What is
Captain EO? Come on, Captain EO.
Yes, thank you.
Captain
Right.
B.O.
Thank you.
That was drivel.
Anybody see Captain EO? Put your comments under the video.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear comments about that. Back when I was 12, it was great.
It was only showed at Disney, right? You had to go to cinema.
You had to go to Disney to see it. Yep.
I remember being so upset about that. Then I saw it, and I was like, okay. All right, and with that, we're out of here. Later, guys. Peace.
Later. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another review of another Star Trek short trek.
Blooper reel.
That's so stupid. Even the name is stupid. I'm doing this under a little bit of duress. He did Wonder Boys? That was his? That doesn't sound like anything I might be interested in, but
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I've decided that our Starcraft. Let me pick Starcraft. Is that what I said? Red Shirts is not endorsed by Paramount Pictures, Viacom, or CBS. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Star Trek, the Star Trek logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Star Trek characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.